Welcome to Advancement Insight, and today we're going to talk about instruction versus education when it comes to success. Now, you may be wondering, what's the difference between instruction and education? Aren't they the same, especially when it comes to success? Yes and no. Instruction deals primarily with direction, order, or an SOP, a standard operating procedure. Education is more of like enlightenment, experience and information, right? The definition of an education has instruction in it. Let's compare instruction and education in different scenarios here. So let's start with health and fitness. A good example of instruction would be go ahead and walk 2 minutes, sprint for a minute, and do that 5 rounds for 15 minutes. Okay, I give you specific instruction. Now, I also want you to eat, say, in the morning, we'll say, 1 cup of oatmeal and a banana. Okay, that's instruction. Now, education may be something like, hey, by the way, there's 9 calories in 1 gram of fat, 4 calories in 1 gram of carb, and 4 calories in 1 gram of protein. So kind of watch your calories that way. And by the way, if you can burn 3,500 calories, you'll lose a pound. Okay, that's education, right? There's nothing you can apply to figure out how to get to those numbers, right? Something else was more instructional on how do I achieve your goal or success. Another example for instruction and education when it comes to your career could be something like, say you have study material and you're going to go get a certification. That study material would be instruction. I mean, kind of like your courses, your syllabus, and the layout of instruction. Hey, go study this, you're going to test on this. However, that kind of plays into education as well, which might be, dress for success, or, do what your boss is doing and try and acquire that job. It's information that's not step by step, okay? That's kind of what education is. Instruction for, let's go into the financial side of the home. Could be something like save 10% of your savings or your entire income into savings, right? Yes, you've all heard that. Or what about when you're focused on debt? Could be something like pay off your Visa credit card $50 a month. That's instruction on how to achieve your financial goals. Now, an educational version of this could be save money, go to school, and pay off your debt. Bonus points if you can comment down below on what that's from. So again, one provides step-by-step on how to do it, and the other one is more informational based. Now, depending on who you speak with, one outweighs the other. And for me, they both are critical. You need to understand what you're doing before you can even understand how to do it. So I do believe in almost the definition. I believe you need to educate yourself on some of this material, even watching some videos on maybe the definitions of things you don't understand before you just execute, these steps, If they start talking about a ledger or your financial statements and you don't know what that is, then go look it up and educate yourself so you can use the instruction. And together, if you notice, the key component I think is what's going to make this so powerful is that you take action on what you learn, all right? You take action on it. Education is useless if it's sitting in your head. Instruction is useless if you know how to do something. You ever talk to that person who's like, oh yeah, I know how to do this, and they tell you all these steps, and then you kind of look at them, especially if it's physical fitness, and they're kind of like, you sure you know what you're talking about? It brings that doubt, right? So what good is the knowledge if you're not actually able to apply it, okay? So that's the biggest takeaway. Pick either one. I prefer both. And the goal is to take action on what you learn. Use it and apply it to your life, okay? Don't just read it so that you know it and you feel better, because it didn't do anything if you don't apply it, okay? So, with that insight, charge into action.